Welcome, travelers, to my realm of nightmares. Allow me to be your personal assistant. Come in, take a seat, get comfortable. For when you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
That can't be what I think it is, I said out loud to myself. My friend and I had decided to get together at my place for some good old-fashioned fun. Our version of such includes competing in college drinking games. I'll tell you right now that we are much past college age. I'd say, though, that playing beer pong or flip cup isn't weird yet for us. If you get that. I'm only 35, my former roommate Jay is just a year younger, and our twin friends Kendra and Kelsey are maybe 36 or 37. We are drinking game OGs, and feel 100% confident that we can enjoy tossing a little ping pong into a questionably clean red Solo cup of Miller Lite for at least another year or two. Hitting the Lordy, look who's 40 club might be the end of drinking games. Yo, Jake, you and Jay ever play Death Charge? Kelsey said, or maybe it was Kendra. Shit, after all these years, I still have a hard time distinguishing between the two. Me and Jay, whose real name is Jeremiah, shared a bio 101 class with the twins first day of college. When I knew he wanted to be a doctor, I thought it'd be funny to call him Dr. J, like the Philly basketball legends, and it stuck. Not only were me and Jay randomly paired as roommates, but we also happened to have our first class together. That's how our friendship started, and we've been connected ever since. At least in communication in our post-college life. Jay has long since moved to the southeast to practice medicine. Nope, can't say that I have, Kay. I stopped myself. Like I said, I sometimes still don't recognize which twin is which. Clearing my throat, I continued. Nope, can't say that I have. And I left it at that. I suspect both Kendra and Kelsey have recognized my failure to identify them, and have mercifully given me a pass. Hell, I have twin cousins. I was in my teens when they were born, so I've seen them grow up, and I still don't recognize them. Thankfully, one has gotten a lip piercing, so that helps. But as most twins, they choose to dress, act, and always talk the same. I'm sure most twins are used to this. I was never great at science or math. Jay, like I said, became a doctor, so he's more than capable of helping me during that initial undergrad class. But we needed to break into groups of 4 for the lab part of the class, and we both thought the twins were cute, like every other guy in class, I'm sure. Jay's charm and my brooding mystery somehow worked, and we all partnered up. We're in the very beginning of the emo explosion in the early 2000s, and I just took it. Brooding and dark didn't even begin to describe my personality back then. But I did like drinking, and so did Jay, so we got along alright off the bat. Turned out, so did the twins, and we remained friends all through college and beyond. Kelsey, Jake's never played Death Charge, she said, smiling like a goofball. They do this when people don't remember which twin they are talking to. It's so considerate, it hurts. One will call the other by their name, so you can cue into who you are talking to. Very considerate. Kendall gives me a look like, it's fine, we came all this way to hang out. Don't worry about the names. I'm much appreciative. It's a nice early spring day here in the great state of Michigan where I live. All 4 of us met here. Central Michigan University, Fire and Chips. I've remained here to this day, not at CMU, of course, but in Michigan. Jay's in the southeast, as previously mentioned, and the twins both took teaching jobs in the greater Phoenix, Arizona area. As adults, we all know how hard it is to coordinate schedules, but it just happened to work for us all. Jay put a group text out about a month ago, seeing if we could all meet up, live up the glory days for a weekend. I quickly offered my place. I've got the room, and thankfully we landed on an early May date that we could all do. Jay already had time scheduled off, and the school both the twins worked for happened to have a 3-day weekend for some kind of principal training. Not sure what that is, as I've been out of high school for quite some time. Either way, here we all are. All 4 of us bros hanging out in my basement, shotgunning beers and slamming quarters. Kendall and Jay arrived at the pong table I bought online for just tonight's occasion. Kendall bumps into the edge a little bit, rocking some of the undrunk cups of light beer from an earlier pong game. How have you never played Death Charge? Kendall looked at her identical self with a wild look of, what an idiot, on her face. I just stood there and shrugged, looking at Jay for some kind of backup or confirmation that he's never played either. He shrugged back at me, mouthing something like, I don't know either. He started to giggle to himself. We're all having a monster time. See, he's along for the ride, here waiting to see how the twins are about to embarrass me about Death Charge. Even though he's never played the damn thing himself, no matter. Time to take the bait. Okay, ladies and lords of drinking games, pray tell, what is this beautiful game? The twins both laugh, almost snorting out the vodka cranberry from their noses. They even drink the same thing at all times. Kendall takes a seat at the bar, like it'll help while explaining the game. Okay, so it's a 2-player game with maybe a maximum of 4 players. Which is, oh damn, what do we have? She extended both arms out, reiterating that there are 4 of us. You fill up a pint glass full of beer, and ever so gently set a shot glass in the middle. If you do it right, it'll sit there above the liquid. Then, you take turns pouring sake into the shot glass. The goal is not to sink the glass under the beer. The strategy is not to be the one to sink the shot. If you do, you have to chug both the beer and the shot. Simple, right? Sounds kind of fun, I thought. I'm game, I said, throwing up my hands. Jay nods in approval, as does Kelsey. Only one problem. I don't have any sake, I said. I have a nicely stocked bar, but never thought to have sake. Just not one of the drinks I keep in my collection. It doesn't have to be sake, but it's so light it helps keep the shot glass from sinking quickly, Kendall said. I want to do it the way it's supposed to be done, especially since she seems so excited about it. I could run to the party store right now. It's only 9 o'clock. It won't take me long, I told them. They all started doing the, no, don't go out type of thing, but I let them know that the party store is just around the corner, only a 5 minutes walk from my house. No driving tonight. I'm never going to risk that problem. Fun fact, here in Michigan, we use the term party store to describe all liquor stores and many convenience stores in our area. I didn't know until I was older that was an exclusive Great Lakes state term. Other places might call it a beer store, a packy, or a bodega even. You guys put some Taking Back Sunday or Avril Lavigne on, and I'll be back before you know it. Nostalgia, you see. Stepping outside, I was immediately hit by the unseasonable warm early May weather. It made me feel content. The jingle overhead signaled I had arrived. Mr. C's Party Store on 9 Mile and Jefferson. One of my home away from home spots. I nodded to Sam, the store owner, that never seemed to have a day off. Headed to the back of the store, I found what I was looking for, a black bottle with gold Japanese writing on it. A $14 bottle of sake. This should do. As I walked towards the counter with my prize, I stopped. I felt like I hit an invisible barrier. That can't be what I think it is. A board game? I've never seen a board game in this or any party store before. They might have playing cards or even packs of ping pong balls and cups for playing beer pong, but never board games. On the second to bottom shelf sat a dusty black rectangular box. Light Kill, the board game. I felt like I was staring into a 1980s slasher or something. Dimwit male lead finds curious board game. Plays with naive drinking friends. Brutal and maybe hilarious consequences follow. To add to the Hollywood-like aura, I had to literally dust off the top of the box, revealing the logo. A simple red canoe with oars crossing behind it, like a skull and crossbones type aesthetic. This looked like it would be a great time. I sped walked to Sam. I threw the sake and cursed board game on the counter. His expression was blank. Sam, what's up, man? He quietly grabbed a bag from under the counter. He calmly put my black and gold sake in it and pushed it towards me. Thanks. But I also have this here too. I tapped the top of the black rectangular box. I didn't see the price, but I know he only charged me for the bottle he just bagged. You're good, is all Sam said. No, Sam, seriously, I want to buy this. Just tell me what. You are good, Sam said, as serious as a heart attack. I didn't want to push it, so I tucked the game under my arm and grabbed the sake. Weird. Hope he's okay. When I got home, I kicked my shoes off, hung my sweatshirt up, and headed downstairs with the game behind my back. My 3 guests seemed like they were still having a great time. Music was blaring, used shot glasses lined the bar, and the pizzas we ordered earlier had almost been demolished. Okay, people, I got the stuff that's going to pop my death charge cherry. Let's light this fuse. Jay and the twins collectively cheered, as if mocking me. After making myself another drink, Kendall started filling up a glass for the game. As she was picking out a not-so-heavy shot glass to make the game last longer, I totally forgot what other purchase I had acquired. Oh, hey, you want to see something weird? That was greeted with blank stares. Probably not the best way to start a sentence. We all laughed, breaking the awkward silence. Thank goodness. No, for real, check this out. With that, I ran back upstairs and grabbed the game. As I hopped back down the stairs, I held it out proudly in front of me, displaying it like Vanna White. Again, blank stares. What is this? I don't get it, Jay said. The twins nodded in agreement. I had to realize that they didn't know I just picked this up from the party store. They must think I just had this laying around the house. I explained that I just happened to see it sitting on one of the shelves and how weird it was. They finally understood how uncanny finding a board game at a party store was. So the 4 of us sat at the bar with the Lake Kill board game just sitting in front of us. Well, let's play, Kelsey said. She looked at her sister to see what her thoughts were. Kendall cracked a smile. I gladly took the honors of tearing the cellophane off the box, carefully opening the lid, revealing the actual board. I removed said board, removing a standard-looking Monopoly-style board, squares littered everywhere. They stated things like, pick a card, move 2 spaces, and lose life. Under the board lay 2 compartments, both holding a stack of cards. One was black, the other red. There are also some icons you could use to move, like the top hat or car from Monopoly, but these were stranger. They included a hockey mask, a knife, a noose, and a diamond. Curiouser and curiouser. Stranger still is that there are only 4 when the game said it was rated 2 to 8 players. I'll be the hockey mask, I guess, said Jay. Damn, I wanted that one. The twins took the next 2, the knives and the noose. Guess that leaves me the diamond. Jay started reading the instructions. This is like a Frankenstein list of rules. They don't make any sense and are all molded together. It doesn't make sense, man. Frankenstein's monster? I said. What? Jay said, looking confused. Sorry, it's just something that always bothered me. When you refer to something strange or Frankensteinly put together, it's like Frankenstein. You really mean it's like Frankenstein's monster, not Dr. Frankenstein, the mad scientist. We all laughed a bit, but I really had to point out the difference. Whatever, man, Jay said. It seems here the oldest rolls first. Yay, Kendra said, joyfully grabbing the die. What? I'm 5 minutes older, Kelsey. Sorry. Giving her a loser sign with her right thumb and forefinger, making the L sign to her younger sister. Kendall rolled a 3. She landed on the 3rd spot, which instructed her to pull a chance card. She read it out loud to us. Stay quiet. He's outside the door. We all seemed to stop breathing. What the hell does that mean? Before any of us could muster a response, we heard 3 loud banging noises coming from the front door above us. Now, with wide eyes, the twins looked at us. Did you order something? Or have someone else coming over? Kendall said. Shh, her sister said. The card said to be quiet. 3 more aggressive bangs made us all jump. Not knowing if this was a consequence or someone actually at the door, I put my index fingers to my lips, signing to the others to remain quiet as I went to the base of the stairs where I could get a visual to the front door. I didn't see anything. Must have been a coincidence. As that finished in my head, the lights went off. A scream escaped from the girls. It honestly could have been from any of us, but I'll choose to blame it on them. When the lights turned back on, there was a plain yellow card lying in front of Kendall. What the fuck, man? What kind of game is this? Jay said, looking at me. Kendall turned the card over to reveal only one character. The number 1? At this moment, I finally realized what day it was. May 13th, Friday. Jay, keep reading the instructions. As he read, we all determined that this was not an ordinary game. Jay scanned to the final objective of the game. The first to obtain the 7th yellow card wins. That's odd. You would think the first to get 13 wins, but whatever. If you do not successfully complete the task given, then punishment would be dished out, detailed by the other set of cards. Okay, just follow the instructions, guys, as the game laid out. It's just a game, I said, trying to sound convincing. The knocks were just, well, I don't entirely know, but it couldn't be something related to the game. Just an awful coincidence. Dumb kids playing Ding Dong Ditch or something. Hey, we stayed quiet and won that round, so let's just stay in the spirit of the game. I know they don't believe that. I don't believe that. I can't believe I didn't realize we were gathered on Friday the 13th. The first one in almost 9 months. Who's next, Jay? I asked. Jay looked flustered, but pulled the instruction pamphlet to his face. After the first roll, the turns will continue clockwise. Jay placed the instructions down and looked at me. He was sitting to Kendall's left. Jay's turn. Jay rolled a 2. His hockey mask landed on a space that said 2 simple words. You're safe. What does that mean? What do we do? Next one, Jay said. I don't have to draw a card or anything. I'm safe. What's in your drink? Kelsey asked. We all looked at it. A sickly yellow card, covered in an unknown sludge. Slowly fishing it out, Jay held it up. 2. Kelsey's turn. She hesitantly rolled. The black and white die fell with a 6 face up. Pick a red card. She did as instructed. I could see her face fall when she silently mouthed the card to herself. Kendall shook her. What does it say? Kelsey stared straight ahead, silently handing the card over to her twin sister. Kendall read it out loud. Sorry, you're not the final girl. Thanks for playing. I let out a nervous laugh, not meaning to. Relax, Kelsey. It's just a game. That doesn't mean any. Lights out. Panic ensued between the twins, accompanied by me and Jay trying to make sense of what was happening and also calming them both. When the lights turned on, Kelsey was now holding the blank red card. A yellow card was also in front of Kendall. I didn't wait this time. I turned it over to reveal the number 3. It doesn't make any sense. I thought, why did you get the yellow card even though it was her turn? What and where the hell did the yellow card come from? I didn't see them in the game. Something very bad is. We were interrupted by my phone. Queens, Don't Stop Now, playing at an inhuman volume level. All 3 of us clasped our ears, trying to preserve our hearing and sanity. Finding a way to fully open one eye, I firmly met the gaze of Jay. I could barely make out what he was attempting to mouth to me. Your turn. The sound waves were almost visible. I reached with all my might and grabbed the die. A weak toss bounced the die, hitting one side, then another. The die landed. I rolled a 1. Freddie Mercury's epic voice silenced, releasing us from our auditory prison. Gasping for air, we all finally sat up, attempting to regain our sanity. "What? Where's Kelsey?" Kendall asked. "Holy shit, she's gone. She's gone," Jay injected before we lost our minds. "Listen, it's part of the game. I know it doesn't sound right, but we need to continue the game before we think about this. Maybe she left while we're all getting our ears beaten to a pulp by Freddy. We shouldn't have jumped into this bullshit like kill game. But now, we can't stop. But let's just end this and figure it out later." Jay sounded entirely reasonable, despite the horror we had just gone through. A member of our party had just disappeared, for God's sake. But for some reason, I understood what he was saying. I looked at Kendall, gave her a look of, "I'm sorry." She returned the sentiment. I moved my diamond piece. The spot I landed on said random. I put my head down, running my hands through my black hair. The black hair that would probably see some gray sprouting up in very little time. Keeping my head to the ground, I asked Jay what that meant. "It says you pick a card, either black or red." A feeling of dread blanketed my body. Keeping my left hand on my face, I reached out with my right hand for a card. I pulled the card. Opening my eyes, I read. As I finished, I looked at my remaining two friends. They looked back at me with bated breath, like what else I'm about to say might end their world. The card read, "Choose which of your two friends should leave the game." Jay immediately started to shake his head. No, no, no. How the hell does this game know how many people are here? This is a pre-packaged bullshit Parker's Brother board game. What did you do to us, Jake? Kendall started to silently cry. "Stop!" I slammed my fist into the bar, rattling the game pieces and card. Both Jay and Kendall recoiled out of instinct. "I'm not going to choose between you. It's a stupid game, and I would never make the decision. Look, I don't know what's going on here, whether it be supernatural, paranormal, or otherwise. But we can logically explain this." Looking at my friends, the only friends I've kept in the last 20 years, I could see my mini motivational speech had fallen on deaf ears. I think we should put this piece of shit away and go look for Kelsey. I never thought she would be so spooked by something like this. I stood up, made sure I had my house keys in my left pocket and my phone in my right, and nodded to Jay to join me. He was about to stand up when a voice quietly sounded behind us. "You rolled, you moved your piece, you accepted the move. There is no avoiding it. I will take a liberty here. You don't have to choose between me or Jay. Without Kelsey, I don't want to be here." Both Jay and I realized what Kendall was saying at the same time. We both turned around to stop her. What happened next was in gruesome slow motion. What we saw was one of our best friends plunge a nail file into her neck, painting my basement with burgundy red viscous. The horrific reality of what just happened is something I might not ever process. The noises she made. I shakingly dropped to her side, trying to help her stay alive, but it was no use. Taking her pulse, I felt nothing except a waxy feeling. I gripped the alien device, pulling it towards me. Yellow card. 4. Now, it's me and Jay, both on our knees, both on the other side of one of the sweetest people we have ever met. In a matter of minutes, she had lost her twin sister, and then her own life. I again put my head down. "Your turn," I said. Jay didn't let his eyes leave poor Kendall. He reached out for the die without saying a word. One quick glance at me, and he tossed it. The sound of the die hitting the board felt like it shook the ground beneath us. 4. He moved his blood-covered piece. He made no motion to read the board or pick a card, so I leaned in and did it for him. "Heart race time," the space said. "Pick a black card." It read, "Your choice. Expose one secret that no one knows about you and gain 2 cards, or face a punishment, giving your opponent 2 cards. Jay started shaking his head as he finally got up from his knees and took a seat by the bar. "I don't have anything to hide, Jake. You know that. I really don't even give a shit about this anymore. I want to get the hell out of here. Let's pack this thing up and go. And we have to call the police. If you didn't notice, there's one dead girl in your basement and one missing." I started to agree with him immediately, but I stopped. Jay, I said sullenly, the game is the game. We can't beat it like this. Not now. I know you're about science and explaining shit, but look what happened here, man. I tried to convince him as much as I could. I thought I had him. I got nothing for you anymore, man. I have no secrets, and I don't care about these 2 cards. Punish me. I winced when he finished that sentence. I felt like, yep, lights out. Here we go again. My walls were closing in. There were banging noises coming from every direction. Jay fell to the ground again, trying to drown out the sounds of what seemed like multiple intruders. I did the same, although feeling more dead to this night. I just wanted this to end. When the lights finally came back on, I could see that some of my glassware had actually been tossed from its original location. Great, so I now have poltergeist activity tonight. Happy fucking Friday the 13th. Happy, fucking killer night. The knocking was so loud, I didn't even hear my glasses breaking. Every time the lights went out, we were met with something awful. I scanned the room. No yellow cards, no more blood, no more weight. A small white piece of paper was peeking out of Jay's pocket. Did you have that all night? I asked. He looked down to his left breast pocket. As he pulled the note, his eyes sank as he read it to himself. The note fell from his hand. What is it? He offered no response. I slowly grabbed the note from the ground in front of him. It wasn't a note at all. It was a prescription. Well, Bertrand. What is this, Jay? I asked. I don't know, he offered. Something in his deadpan tone told me he did know. It was supposed to treat anxiety, damn it. The side effects were stated, but the company that pushed it, they paid a lot. What did you do, Jeremiah? Take your cards, Jake. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't care what the punishment is. I'll die with what I know. Pretty extreme for the good doctor. I've known him since college. He's one of the most upstanding people I've ever been around. Did you hurt people, man? What the hell is this? Just admit it, and you'll get the card. We're almost done with this nightmare. Jay looked around the room, seemingly planning his next action. No, I can't. For some reason, he pulled a red card without being told by the game. What are you doing? I thought to myself. Jay read, you won't release your deeds, so you'll sow the seeds. You reap what you sow, after all. With that, he placed the card back down on its face. He reached back into his front shirt pocket, producing 2 little yellow pills. I couldn't see exactly what was etched on them from where I was sitting, but I thought I made out what looked like 3 little letters. R-I-P. Jay, don't! I tried to reach for him, but it was too late. He threw them down his throat before I had a chance. A big swallow, and his pupils immediately dilated. A small amount of foam emitted from both corners of his mouth. Just stop! It's not worth it! Don't do this! I desperately tried to get to him, but he was gone. My best friend. My only friend now. Just catatonically pointed to his pocket. I approached him cautiously, pulling out 2 yellow cards from his pocket. 5, 6, they read. I slammed my diamond piece 6 places, reaching the first square where we started the game. The square was blank, as it was from the beginning. I didn't know what to do. It offered no instruction. Jay broke his frozen state. Speaking without emotion, monotone, he said, Congratulations. The first one to make a trip around the board automatically gains 1 yellow card. I stared at him, confused. Sadness, despair flooded my entire being. He pointed at the center of the board. The black and red cards were gone. The pieces, the die, were gone. 1 yellow card sat. I shakenly grabbed it and flipped it over. 7. I woke up in my bed. My head felt like the Hammer Brothers from Super Mario were having a party. I willed myself up, immediately falling to the ground. Pain shot through my entire body. Momentarily forgetting everything from last night, I ran downstairs after I puked like a champ. I found my basement in pristine condition. No empty drinks, no board games, no catatonic friend, no dead friend bleeding on the ground. I found my phone sitting in the bar, 10% battery left, Thank goodness. No notifications, no missed calls. I tried calling Jay, no answer. I called both the twins, same result. I sat down, holding my smoldering head in my hands. After what felt like an eternity, I heard a text go off. Sonic the Hedgehog ring sound. It snapped me back to reality. Opening the text, it was from Jay. Hey brother, the twins just landed at the Metro Airport. I'll be there in about an hour. So pumped for tonight. I think we all needed this. Funny, it's Friday the 13th, right? See you soon, man. Tonight's story is Never Play Party Store board games on Friday the 13th, written by Blake Blizzard. If you enjoyed this, chances are you enjoy the rest of his content. All of his social media links will be in the description below. Please check him out and let him know PA sent you. Hey, did you have merch? Well, I do. And if you like to walk around, representing my realm and gaining new travelers, the links to my merch store, as well as all of my other social medias, will be in the description below. As always, I'd like to say a special thank you to all my lovely Patreons. 242 Reads, Rando Calrissian, Seraphine the Midnight Bard, Hair Raising Narratives, Spooky Boo's Scary Story Time, Lycan Trucker, and Pimp Demon. If you'd like to join these lovely travelers by light of my fire, you can do so by becoming a Patreon as well. Just remember the support is always appreciated but never expected. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ding that bell if you're new for all future content, as it will really help push this video into the algorithm and helps the channel grow.
But as always, travelers, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping